Hello and welcome to bellcurved Gaming. Today I'm bringing you the second video where I'm featuring the new Trevenant Dusknoir Tag Team GX that's just been released. So this guy, I'm now using him more as a tech option in a Psychic box deck. So we're really building a Tina deck with the main guy being Tina right through the start of the match, and then having different options that we can use at different stages depending on the situation. So I think I like this a lot because we just have a lot more tools at our disposal and we can play in different ways depending on, I guess, the situation that's presented to us in front. Plus, we're not just giving our opponent prize cards. So it's a very different style of using the Trevenant Dusknoir, so let's have a look at the options we've got available to us. So really, in the early game, what we're trying to do is set up Malamars so we can start using Tinas. And depending on what they're attacking with us with, we could be using Mimikyu as well and copying their attack. So the team's really good here. Distortion Door allows us to keep recycling, rinse and repeating. And then we've got tags to be able to try and get the damage to different Pokemon that we need to as we're going. As we start and get into the late game, or even the middle game, so if they've taken a couple of prizes and even down to 4 cards, we can actually go with the Trevenant and Dusknoir. Sometimes it can be absolutely clutch to go into them a little bit sooner, and then use something like a Jesse James to discard a couple of cards from their hand with the reset stamp obviously first, and then we can use the Night Watch to try and really disrupt what our opponent is doing, and they're going to have to live off that top decks. We can also do it in the late game. We can put a big HP Pokemon sitting in front of them that they've got to get over, and if they've got a tag team or something as well with a lot of energies on there, we might actually Power Moon GX them and get rid of all their energies and see whether they can actually get out of the active. And if we've got some hand disruption as well, maybe a reset stamp, Jesse James, who knows, we might be able to win that way as well. What I also like with it though is we've got the Deoxyons, the Espeon Deoxys here with the Cross Division GX, which can just take out those remaining bench Pokemon to finish the prize card race that way as well. So I really like this because there's a lot of different options available to us, and I think it's a little bit more flexible rather than putting all your eggs into one basket as the previous video was. But before we judge it, let's get to see how this thing performs. Hello, Pestana, welcome. Okay, leaving it there. So probably Pikarom. No, Zeraora down. Alright, Zeraora deck of some kind. It could still be Pikarom. I guess. There's every chance that it could be. Yeah. It's looking Pikarom-y, but that's not who I was expecting, the Choo-Choo. I must admit. Akbak, what are you going to do for me? Find me a mysterious treasure, I can live with that. So what we can do is just bin the Tina. Go and get an Inkay set up. That feels pretty good to me. I feel like actually Engie attaching the Mimikyu is pretty good here. Distortion Door. The reason I feel that, as long as I get another Inkay, that's actually a really good move, I think. I need Inkay. And I've got it, just. When I say I feel like it's a good move, it's only a good move if I can get double melee on the following turn as well. It gives me an extra bit of draw just here, so we'll filch. A couple of cards that we can't use at the moment because we don't have any other Pokemon. That's not great. Could have done with 2 Malamars. That'd have been brilliant. That'd have been absolutely busted. But anyway. So you've got the attack this turn. So that goes my Mimikyu, which makes this exceptionally challenging. Oh, you don't. Didn't you have anything in the bin? No, you didn't. Okay, okay. Well, that was unexpected. So Mimikyu's Filch did me nothing on that last turn. Alright, so we've got one Malamar. We've got both Malamars actually. Should we do what we need to do? I think we shall. Go and get the other Mally. That feels fine. Then we'll Acrobike. That can get us Jirachi. Oops. Grab Jirachi. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Chuck that onto you. And then this guy and to this guy. All onto the Tina. We don't have any tags, which makes me a little bit sad, but you can only do what you can do. Right now, Shadow Impact. I mean, you've got to come from the bench, which would be pretty easy, I would have thought, to get the KO even with 40 on. So we'll chuck it to yourself. See what this gets me. Just a Psychic Engie. Tapping Coco. Interesting. Suppose you could retreat and then blow it up and... Or not blow it up, but chuck it in the Lost Zone and get a couple of Engies back out. That's something you could do. Do you know what I'd love here? To surprise... Oh, you've got too much retreating in this deck, actually. I was going to say, surprise me with like my Dusknoir and that, but we might leave that to a little bit later. So there's the Tandem Shock. Chuck Jirachi in the active. Apparently, since I updated my computer, I haven't been paralyzed, so there's a thing. Not that many Engies in the bin already. Distortion Door. Well, Engie attach here, so then I've got options afterwards. Shuffle. Please find my way into a board. Oh, that's a little bit awkward, isn't it? The only way I can guarantee attacking here Nah, Engie attached. Alright, well... Wouldn't mind using Mimikyu here. Grab NK out. Please find me something good. There's a switch, that'll do. Alright, we'll melee charge onto the Mimikyu. Chuck an NK down here, I think. And then run a switch. I don't want to ditch anything from this hand, to be blunt. That's the reason why I'm not Viridian. Copycat. And get a little bit of paralysis on it. Over to you, sir. Surely you've got plenty of switching in this deck. Yeah. That's what I thought. At least having to use a Titanizer and a switch. Cherish Ball for the Pikarom. That's what I thought would have been coming a long time ago. So Power Plant doesn't really affect me too much. That was a mistake. Gotta be careful when you're running the old Power Plant if you're going to do that sort of thing. Plus, retreating now is really hard with the Zeraora. The Power Plant's an interesting addition to this deck, to say the least. A very interesting addition. So you can whack that onto the Dedenne, that's fine, like your U-turn board. So I think we'll nearly Jirachi first, hope for a board. And if we don't get the board, we might just Tantalize a switch here. Get a spell tag. Still a wish. No boards, so we're gonna have to Tantalize a switch. We really are. It's just awkward, unfortunately. Psychic Recharge. Entertainer. Entertainer. As I can't take the risk just at the moment. We'll switch. Entertainer. And we'll now Shadow Impact. Take out the Choo-Choo. And chuck the damage on yourself. So the Pigarom's going to be coming into play. I really need that board ASAP. Wherever it is in my deck. Sigilyph's an interesting call. Be interesting here to see whether you attach to yourself or whether you go to the Choo-Choo. Assuming you'll probably go to the Choo-Choo, which would be smarter. But depends how big a splash you want to make. Nah, you're going to put it to yourself. So this is where I really want to use you. 240, I mean... Let's just put it on you. I need so much at the moment to go my way. Alright, so we're chucking you down. Chucking NG to you. We'll then Jirachi down just because I need to thin. Cynthia, please find me a board. Or a switch. There's a board. Okay, now we're in action. So we'll just dig a little bit. We can stamp you to 3. That's even better. Beautiful. We'll then Stellar Wish ourselves. I just guess the tags are fine here. Alright, spell tag to you. I mean, if you go down, it actually doesn't really matter, does it? I'm kind of going a little bit all in on this play. We don't want to turn Power Plant off. We want to leave the Power Plant up and running. Got a board to you. We want to stamp you. It's a pity. We kind of want to use Night Watch, but we need to get rid of the NGs. So retreat to you. And then Pale Moon GX. Get rid of all those NG cards. Put 2 that you need to get out of the active right now. Electromagnetic Radar. So keep in mind, Custom Catch is a big one to ditch. You've got to remember you've still got Power Plant down. It's not a Pikarom. Because Dedenne is not going to do anything for you. Ah, you got a Lily. I'm surprised you... Yeah, alright. You had to, I guess. Do you have the switch? You do. Saves the Pikarom's life. Thunderous Assault for 80. We don't have another attacker on the board. That's the only downside right now. Which might mean we've got to probably Psychic Recharge to Amali, just in case we need to. Like, desperate times call for desperate measures. That's really what we're worried about. Energy attached to you. And then we'll just Night Watch. Get rid of those 2 cards. I mean, it's going to be very interesting for you now. The Sigilyph could be annoying though. Which is the reason why we've also got to have a manual attacker, because, yeah. So we can probably take, maybe not. Yeah, we're probably looking at a retreat play here. And then using melee. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what we're doing now. Jesse James is pretty useless. Just Psychic Recharge to yourself. We'll retreat to this guy. And then Psychic Recharge. NGTU. Still don't want to play too much. We will Erika's. That seems pretty good. Alright, so we got options. We've got options. We can get another melee up. Alright, we'll just slowly Psychic Sphere. Oh, hang on. Your power plant turned that off. Oops, that's my bad. That's my bad. Oh well, I wasn't KOing at that turn anyway. That was my bad though. You're going to stamp me to, what is it, 1? Jesse James though. So, your power plant's turned it off. I totally forgot about that. So my bad. But for a bit of fun, I think we should Jesse James. I am still shocked that this runs like power plant. This deck. There's a lot of energies in the bin, isn't it? 10 energies. Wow. Alright. We'll run a retreat for this guy. And then Night Watch. Leave you with no cards. You don't get to put any damage on me. Oh, it leaves you with the U-turn board, I guess. See, that's where I think the Trevenant and Dusknoir really fits in nicely. Is just as a supporter in like Malamar decks. It's amazing. So I do think I want... Oh no, I've only got the one Jesse and James. Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Hello and welcome, incredible dude. Like your name. Bit of a mulligan. Oh, we'll get going after this. Just start me with Jirachi, 3 Inkays, a Mysterious Treasure. No, just 2 Inkays, a Mysterious Treasure, I can live with that. And a Giratina. Maybe an NG. And a Viridium. And a Supporter. I'm already out of cards. I don't know. Oh, I need to stretch. I've been playing too long. Alright. 2 Inkays. That's something, I guess. Not really what I was hoping, but... Might have to board to an Inkay. I mean, we'll just Acrobat here first, see what we're dealing with. I really don't like throwing spell tags in the bin, that just feels bad. Alright, we're going to throw Erika's, and we're going to go and get ourselves a Tina. Then we're going to go throw Tina. Go and get ourselves out another Inkay. That feels fine. Got trip Inkay up. We will Distortion Dawn now, just so I can chuck the spell tag on him. Spell tag to you. Really don't like using a board to you, but beggars can't be choosy sometimes. Well, they can be, but it doesn't really go fast, so... Well, not great, but... What can you do? Just level it up. I am considering maybe dropping a Pokecoms or something. It's incredible how many times I get Pokecoms and I don't need it. But they're also useful, so... So I need one Malamar. And an energy into the bin. So we've got a Melee deck back at us with spell tags, which is a nuisance. Got Mimikyu. So in some kind of mirror anyway. Ooh, Dusknoir. I'm playing Dusknoir in my Malamar. Alright, so this is going to be heavy hand control, so I need like doubling K up immediately here. Just so I'm self-sufficient. I'd love to have a dark Pokemon to hit you a little bit harder, but anyway. I'll just Cynthia and hope. We got a Melee. Got double Melee. We don't have an Engie in the bin. That's a problem. That's a big problem. We do not have an Engie in the bin. Which means like Jirachi could be absolutely clutch here. A Stadium, but I don't have a switch. It's gonna be clutch to getting me out of a bad hand. If I'm Mysterious Treasure, I go to a hand of 0. And Jirachi's got to save me. I think that's what we're going to do, and we're going to sacrifice the Inkay. Always sacrifice the Tina. I think that makes more sense. Because we're still in search of an Engie, no matter what. So I think we retreat to the Tina here. Yeah. Because if you hit me hard, I think we go Jirachi in. Hope that you can get a supporter to get me going. So you need a board or a switch and a energy, which you've got. So now you just need that switch, which I desperately need you to miss. Nah, you've got it. So you're set. I'm far from it. And you got a Dedenne change. So I'm gonna do some maths here. 260. I just want one ping on you. And the I reckon we go 3 to the Jirachi. Yeah. So I think that's how we play it. Go Jirachi in the active. And really hope for some luck here. Espeon Deoxys isn't doing it for me. Got Cynthia. I love that board, but I just fell 1 NG short. This is just brutal. I do not want to chuck Deoxyon out. I really don't. But I also don't want to draw into it. Oh, who do I want to ping to? I'll start working this Mimikyu. And this guy. That seems fine. Cynthia. So we need a board and an NG. You don't provide it for me. What I might do is chuck Viridian down though. So that could become clutch for the future. We're just gonna have to sacrifice Jirachi. It's amazing how 1 energy card has cost me dearly. Making things so difficult. I'm thinking I could have actually used Mimikyu when I think about that. We don't have enough NGs in the bin to do it though, do we? Go Inkay up. Mimikyu could be good for the next turn though. If this gets me an NG card, that'd be pretty golden. Bin an NG? Is that what we need, or do we just grab the NG? I think we grab the NG, personally. Because I actually think we hit him with Mimikyu here. It's a bigger hit. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Mimikyu down. Melee onto my Mimikyu. Get that to my Mimikyu. And then retreat to you. And we'll just copycat. Chuck those 2 into the bin. Not that it really matters. You got 2 larger hand size just at the moment. It makes things interesting. How does copying a copycat work? There's a question. How does copying a copycat work? Or do you really have to attack this Trevenant Dusknoir to make anything happen? It's very interesting. Yeah, you can discard the only card I've got. It's fine. Just a mysterious treasure. So, this is where I get to discover, how's copying a copycat work? The answer? Not well. Not well. Well, I guess this is a retreat to the Tina and take out the Mimikyu. Psychic recharge onto you. Do want to play Jirachi. I mean, you're gonna just ditch it anyway on the next turn, so Jirachi might as well go down. I'll just Shadow Impact this Mimikyu. And chuck the 4 damage counters on yourself, really. So I have Mimikyu ready to go on the next turn. Wouldn't be surprised if I see a different attacker here, because you'd probably be a little bit concerned about this guy. Yeah, so here comes Tina to attack back. It's a bit of a shame. But Deoxyon could be good for the late game then. If we can get ourselves to 3 prize cards and if I can find that Deoxyon. It could be very good late game. Could be a very good play late game. I think we go in with Mimikyu on the next one though, to take out the Tina. Just because it's starting to get dangerously close to being spell tagged. So, and even Tina'd. So yeah, I think that's the play. Indeed. Well, you're gonna go with the Trevenant Dusknoir. Wasn't expecting that. I suppose if I take this out, you can take the Mimikyu straight out. Gets rid of that. We'll go Inkay, just because that guarantees what I need. We have a spell tag back, so if you take us down, we can take the Jirachi out. So this is a 3, technically a 4 prize card haul, potentially. Which is pretty huge. So we'll Distortion Door. Definitely to you. I mean, we can work it out later. We'll just chuck it onto you two still. We'll just build up a couple of melee recharges onto the Tina. I mean, the beauty of this is I actually take away those 2 cards. You've got the Jirachi to go and pull them back, which is a bit sad, but oh well, it is what it is. We'll now Copycat. Oh, in fact, no, you can take out the Mimikyu. I should have held that tag. That's a bad mistake on my part. That's a very bad mistake on my part. So I go 2 prizes, you go 2, and you can get the KO immediately. Which means I've got to find a way into Deoxyon this turn. To try and get this thing done, but am I close enough? Or I could go into my own Trevenant Dusknoir. And see what you've got. But you're 1 spell tag away of taking out that Jirachi, which is real bad. So give up the Jirachi. So yeah, we're looking at probably Trevenant Dusknoir on the next turn. As long as I don't get stamped and I avoid it. Although you could be coming in with your own, which is interesting. Very interesting. Which means you get the first hit on it. Which means Deoxyon's still probably my way into victory. I really wish I did not waste that spell tag. And I'm out of spell tags. A waste of a spell tag could cost me. You're going to stamp me as well. $70, $30. I mean, Deoxyon could save me. Deoxyon's the play. Gotta find it. Because it's 70 plus another 30. So that's my only play at this from now. So Inkay in the active, we bin the Inkay. Although I can't really afford to, just in case I don't draw into an energy, but I need that Deoxyon guaranteed as well. Alright, Cynthia, what can you do? There's Deoxyon, there's an energy. Fantastic. Absolutely busted. Melee. Recharge a couple of times. And then Deoxyon, finish this guy off. Well then cross division, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. Wow, that was close. Way closer than it needed to be. Good game. Good game though. Good game. I enjoyed it. And it is time to rate this deck and really see how does it compare to the previous deck that I built where we built completely around the Trevenant Dusknoir. So in terms of damage output, the damage is really still 2-shot based. So as our previous I guess deck was, it was a 2-shot base deck, but we have different Pokemon that we can use the 2-shot base with, and we're not just giving up prize cards to our opponents straight away. So the Tina, obviously we can use the Distortion Door and rinse and repeat with the Tina and use a 1 prize card Tacker, which is still really a 2-shot base deck. We can get extra damage with the spell tags with this as well, and we've got the Trevenant Dusknoir to disrupt with the 2-shot ability as well as the Pale Moon GX, which can, if we can at least trap them into the active, can take the big heavy tag team Pokemon out as well on the way back to us. But we really are basically a 2-shot deck. I'm giving that a 7.5 out of 10. As for the defense, what we have with this deck in comparison to the last one is we are trying to make them take as many prize cards as we can, so we can act as a 1 prize card deck right at the start of the match, and then we can try and come in with these tag teams later on to try and finish things off and disrupt our opponent at the same time. So in terms of defense, it's not just pure disruption that we're after a bit more 1 prize cardy at the start and looking at getting damage on the board and try and take as many prize cards as we can, and then full on disruption if that's the way to go towards the end, or we might actually try and just take out bench Pokemon with the cross division. So in terms of defense, it's got different options available to it, but we're giving the defense here an 8 out of 10. As for reliability, well, we've got a lot more flexibility with this deck and a lot more different options. Plus we got Jirachi here, which is just amazing for helping set up all of our Inkay Malamar lines and getting what we need right through the match. So reliability here, I really like it. I'm giving the reliability a 9.5 out of 10. So overall, what do I think and how does it compare with the deck that was purely built around the Trevenant Dusknoir? Well, it's not quite as disruptive as the one purely built around the Trevenant Dusknoir, because that was all about disruption, trying to win from stopping your opponent from being able to really play the game. But what I do like in the trade-off to this is you've got a lot more flexibility and a lot of different ways to overcome when you get behind. So this deck can catch up when you're behind with the other deck. Not always. If you didn't get that disruption right at the start, it can get overtaken pretty quickly and hard to recover. So this is a lot more flexible, and I think I prefer this build a lot more, running as a tech option rather than building completely around it. So overall, I love it. I'm giving this deck a 9.5 out of 10.